Welcome back to Future EX Part 2 with Kathleen. Kathleen, we're going to dive a little bit now into the trend analysis around employee experience and really sharing your ideas and thoughts. So when you look at employee experience, and I know you're very focused in the wellness space specifically, and I mean, you obviously work in an industry where things like mental health are a top priority. Tell me, for 2022, what trends do you foresee are things that other leaders should watch out for and that you can see on the horizon when it comes to employee experience, specifically in the wellness space?
Sure. So because of the disruptions, in technology, in our health, in our safety, in the environment, etc., digitization has become a huge trend. And that's because also there's a lot of remote working.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I mean, some companies have not been prepared for this.
Yeah.
And some companies have actually got it right. Like if I think of the banks have absolutely got it right. There's a lot of remote working, and yes, there are issues around that. Yes, they've been ready, but have the people really been, have they been eased into that, or they've had to just immediately start working from home because of this COVID-19? And so I always, think of my neighbor. She works also for a bank, and the cabin fever just really gets to her.
Yeah.
She lives alone, and, I remember a few weeks ago, she said to me, "Oh, you know what, I spoke to my friends. We had a meeting for 4 hours. We had a video call." And I was like, this poor woman, I'm fortunate, even though sometimes you don't see it as fortunate, that I still go to work every single day. So since COVID-19, we come to work. Maybe once or twice, then you're working remotely, but we come to work. So I'm fortunate because then still have that interaction with the people. It's so important. I remember my executive coach. I've got an executive coach assigned to me, and he was saying he was speaking to Adrian Gore, the group CEO of Discovery Health, and he was saying, he's got that beautiful building that they're renting out. They haven't bought that building. And he says, "You know what? I'm bringing back all my staff. It's not working."
Yeah.
And because they need that interaction, that you really need to have that employee engagement. Yes, you can have it working remotely, but it's not the same. That human element. We're so used to being in each other's spaces. So I think with my organization, we're fortunate because we're there. We're always there for each other. All right. And the other trend is it's our health over wealth. We are seeing that life is just so it's so vulnerable. It's so, you're here today, you're gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we definitely value the gift of life, and we're trying whatever means to stay healthy. We really not too perturbed about wealth creation, because at the end of the day, money can't buy your health.
Yeah.
We've seen your Steve Jobs. He had all the money in the world, but he still couldn't get his cancer cured. So many people, we've lost so many people. And the other trend, like you mentioned, is mental awareness, mental health. And we've seen globally that there's an increased number of anxiety and depression cases, from mild cases to extreme cases where people are committing suicide, where, some people are okay, but in the long run, we've got the post-traumatic stress disorder. How are we going to be dealing with that?
Yeah.
So I've seen in my own space that there's a great need for counseling and for the helping profession. Every day, as we speak now, my email is pinging because I need to refer an employee for trauma counseling.
Sure.
So, and also with that, the crime. It's just, from cyber crime to physical crime, it's just, so people are definitely in a panic. So there's definitely a trend of fear with there's no one who can say, nah, you know what, this pandemic, it's definitely affected all of us. So, so the trends are definitely also in disruptions, just we need to be aware of what we don't know. It could be a climate disruption, could be a technological one. We've seen how it's become a medical and health one.
Yeah. So off the back of that, then, what do you think, in your opinion, are the non-negotiables that employee experience leaders need to be focusing on?
Okay, number one is definitely the health and safety of our employees.
Okay.
So our president, Cyril Ramaphosa, announced on Sunday night that COVID-19 vaccinations need to be made mandatory. And that's just it, you know. Those are non-negotiables. We need to take care of our staff. I'm running a wellness day tomorrow. I've got the Department of Health coming through, and we are vaccinating our employees. Obviously, we can't force them, but now, at least with the president, you know, saying, guys, this is the way we need to go. Otherwise, we're going to have 10 waves, 20 waves of this pandemic. So, you know what, so within the wellness space, definitely health and safety of employees. It's not just about ourselves, it's also about our families and friends. When we go out there, are we all vaccinated? So we need to do the right thing. The right thing now is to make sure that our health and safety is not compromised. Okay, and then number two, employee wellness and well-being. That's definitely, how well are we looking after our employees? Are our employees well? Not just from a mental perspective or a mental element, but also from a financial element. Are they okay? You know, let's try in the organizations that are doing well. There's organizations that are flourishing during these times. You know, they're doing really well. So are they looking after their employees? Also from an emotional perspective, you know, are they okay? What are they dealing with? You know, they could be dealing with gender-based violence at home. They could be dealing with parenting challenges. I always think of those child-headed households. What are they dealing with? They already have that burden, you know, of looking after their siblings. And so what more with the pandemic? How has it affected them? It's just a double burden, if not a triple burden. You know, it's just crazy out there. And then also our physical wellness. What are we doing to get our employees physically healthy? I mean, so for me, this position, I absolutely love it. So I was approached for this position. I was asked, Kathleen, would you look at this? We think you're the best person. It's like, okay, let me try it out. So for me, it's opened up a whole new world, even for my family. We now go hiking. We are now eating fresh vegetables and fruit. And like you said, your daughter bought a blender. I also went and upgraded my blender. And I never ever thought that I would eat green leafy vegetables that are raw. But I am blending them, you know. So what are we doing? I bought a spinning bike. I mean, I had this bike that wasn't working, an exercise bike. It wasn't working for years, but this year I was like, what? I'm buying that spinning bike and we are going to be physically healthy.
Yeah.
I've put on weight, but my youngest son, he's losing weight. So we need to balance, you know. So, so we definitely for me, the non-negotiables that I can quickly think of is that health and safety of our employees and of each other in our communities, and also that employee wellness and well-being.
Perfect. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So, I mean, I think is a really, really good insight, and definitely non-negotiables is to have a great health and wellness program implemented within your business. And it's about it's about education. It's about, teaching your employees around, like, as you say, what are the best choices that you can make within, within your eating and within your physical well-being. So absolutely and those programs are really great, and they're not difficult to implement. So I definitely think that's a good one. And then I think with that, I'm gonna wrap up.